My daughter is expanding the chicken coop, made a chicken run, but it's only supposed to be during the daytime. One of our first wheelchairs, my son pushed it over here in the woods. Surprised that it got like a skeleton in it or something. Be perfect Halloween. The woods are retaken. My neighbor's gonna ride by and say, "Hey, can I have the wheelchair?" Yeah, it felt kind of weird. Everybody telling me, "Oh, it's Friday. We get to be off." And I'm thinking, not me. They had the guy that usually works. He was working 2 days, but when they hired me, he lost one. So I guess he decided to go ahead and take the other one off. So I'm working this Saturday. Then I gotta be up in Asheville at 8 o'clock. If I get off at 2, I have time just coming back. I might have to get me a hotel room. Yeah, I figured I'd walk a little bit. I was tired. I was tired today. I didn't get much sleep last night. But tonight I'm gonna get some, but I gotta keep my walking up. At least while it's not raining. So I didn't really eat breakfast, but it takes about 4 to 5 tablespoons in each of my things that pours my creamer. And I use about 3 of those. So that's 15 tablespoons per coffee. Maybe less. But the coffee's kind of bitter, so I like it sweet. So if I could cut that down. So 2 coffees and a bag of like cheddar, not the sour cream and onions, but the orange ones, about 1,000 calories. So I ate that. And then I come home and probably eat about another 1,000. Maybe. I hadn't added up yet, but a can of peas, can of chicken, 2 spoons of peanut butter, and a protein shake. So probably about 1,000, maybe a little bit more. So if I get my steps in, I had almost 9,000 when I started. My son got 18, and I got almost 14 yesterday. And he said, "I ain't competition with you today." He said, "Don't be telling me how many steps you did, because it'll force him to get out here and he'll have to walk." I tell him he'll walk for 2 hours or just keep walking until he gets more steps. But my hat looks goofy today, but it's keeping the sun off my head. I ain't got no hair, so yep. I had a sunburn. And then I think it scabs and it'll be like cancer, and then before you know it, I'll have that bad stuff. But yeah, day was pretty cool. Hardest thing, stay awake. You know, trying to read up on some training and did my little round, staying awake. And it's funny, a little group started going to. There's other groups you can go to, but they think I'm too excited. So they said they're not going to put a word in for me yet. They have to have a meeting. I'm like, what? So the other groups I want to go to, I got to go meet them and do it on my own instead of going through my group. It was weird, but yeah, that's crazy. But I remember when I was young, I'd walk in the woods. My granddad had some, and he sold them and bought him a condo. So he was letting my mom and them live there. And then when her mom died, she bought a house closer to work. But I used to go walk in the woods. I'd come home from like board school, and then the weekends or whatever, I'd go out in the woods or Christmas break. One time it snowed, and they had a whole field of kudzu, and the snow covered it, so you could walk on it. But normally it'd be like 4 or 5 foot high, and you couldn't walk because it'd sink and briars and everything. But when all the snow laid it down where you could walk across it. And not too many opportunities where you could do that. My dad told me that stuff. They brought it from somewhere to help with erosion. There's so much erosion and it grows real fast and keeps erosion, but it takes over. It'll climb up trees and side of banks and houses and everything. A lot of people used to leave it on the house, but you know, it is a plant and the roots get all in your mortar and pull it off and then your house fall apart or do some damage. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Kudzu. Found some trash it wasn't here. Looks like big old dental floss. Son's been out here flossing his teeth for a bear. And he said he thought there was something out here at night that scared him. He was looking up in the trees and there was something lights, some eyes shining back at it. I said it might have been an owl because we got these chickens. You know, everything likes chicken. You know, bears, hawks, dogs, owls, chickens. Everything I eat a chicken. And then you cook it. Like you cook a lot of stuff. I said, what does it taste like? Tastes like chicken. You know? Just a natural, good tasting thing to eat. Yeah, I doubt I'll get 18,000. I don't know how long he's gonna be busy. He said he wanted to work out a little bit before he went. We'll take a little ride. But it's beautiful. Just walking out here in the woods, you know. You can't, I guess you could take an AI editor. You know, I was talking to a guy and he's in IT and he told me some stuff to study, but I doubt I would, I don't know if I'd even get the concepts. As you know, after I work, I want to come home and relax. And he's making about 10 times, well, 5 times, probably 5 times more than what I make a year. So it's worth it. You know, I'm heading toward the 55. So it's time in my life. I don't need all the stress. I just need to take it easy and relax. You know, just find something to do. Stay busy. Walk around the yard. I don't know who takes longer. Said he got to switch clothes. Got multiple paths here. This one ain't used that much. It looks like a storm went through it. Go on this one. That's the thing, you can't get no distance in because you gotta be careful. You're walking this ain't the well-worn path. And I used to tell the story when as kids, you know, they had like one person and it's all grown up and they were going and, you know, they were going to heaven because they were going against the popular way and really struggling and fighting. And it was narrow as a path and hard, you know. But the other people had a big old like airport highway and everybody going there strolling. They're probably getting sodas handed to them and they didn't have to worry about it. But, you know, that was the path to destruction. Like, you know, lambs to the slaughter. So it's kind of wild how my yard is so symbolistic of all this stuff. Yeah. Hey, grandson out there, don't beat my thing. What are you doing? Uh-huh. Yep. Yep, spilled his toys. He'd be a little bit better if he wasn't tired. Cry over spilled milk. Cry over spilled toys. Whew, that took longer than I thought. We went to get some Dunkin' Donuts creamer and some coffee. And the first store we went to, Dunkin' Donuts, they didn't have any. They had whole bean and like French vanilla. They didn't have it ground. So the app I'm talking about, Upside, mostly, you know, it's gas. And I sent $10 to the bank, so it's showing like $11.60. So they hadn't took the $10 out. So I had like $10.30. So I made like $1.30 by filling up, I think 3 or 4 times, and I got 40 cents on this Dunkin' Donuts coffee today. So once they take the $10 out, I have like $1.60. I figure I take 10 out at a time. Or I might just save up and say, hey, this gonna be a meal. We're gonna go out to eat. And now the sun's kind of down, so I can expose my bald head. But yeah, got my coffee. Still got some in the refrigerator, and the refrigerator hadn't been getting cold enough. And I looked at a little button. And I saved money. I got my stool here. My stool keeps it closed. Now it's staying kind of closed, but see when you do it, normally it'll pop open. So just notice this right here. That was on 3, and I put it on 5. So hopefully that'll help it too. Be a little bit colder. And I told him, see, now it won't stay open out of that. So you gotta. My $700, me avoiding $700 on this refrigerator. I'm gonna make it last. I come out here and I said, well, I almost had 10,000 steps. So I was gonna walk a little bit more. And the Wi-Fi is by my window. So I'm on the other side, so I'm close instead of sitting on the porch. And it said I only had 3 minutes for half. And I've been trying to download this video all day. And I wasn't away from the house, and I guess the data didn't work because it was 53 minutes long, and it said it wasn't going to do it. But here, I got 350 meg download, so hopefully it'll download, and then I can upload this second video that I'm working on. Yeah, it says 3 to 4 minutes. So I'm right here by the thing. I'm kind of scared to walk away from it. But I want to come over here and see how she's got these chickens and roosters before she gets home and yells at me about looking at them. She used these ropes to tie it together. Not too bad. She made like a chicken run. And I said, you know, if you'd put that third one down there, you'd had 3 of them. You could have made the whole thing go that way. Then you could have walked up under it, or at least a lot better. I said, what are you going to do when the chickens are down here? How are you going to get them all back in? So she just looked at me because she'd been working this day all day like, why didn't you do it? Kind of look. You know, people, if they were riding by or Google Maps, videos us, and we just walking around circles in the yard trying to get our steps in. And you know, I don't know what's worse. Running on the treadmill in space, you know, in one spot, and just do, you know, you do what the machine says, or you just walk around in circles like you're aimlessly going nowhere. And I used to think it was funny when I just see my son. He'd walk out of the woods, walk in the woods, walk out of the woods, walk in the woods. I'm like, what is he doing? And now here I'm doing it. Yeah, I had like 10,400 a minute ago, so, you know, it's almost 2,000 steps, but I got to go to bed tonight. I can't stay up like I did last night. Whew. I was like trying to stay awake all day today. There's part of the telephone pole that had the hole in it. There was two of them. There was one down the road we picked up when I had the truck. And the other one looks like a totem pole in the woods. My son planted it in the ground. A chicken walked by. Back. Stressing the chickens out. Almost got 11 steps and I seen a squish frog. Good gracious. Be waiting on this video and doing all this walking. So I'm only got like 60 steps, but I walked in the house and back till I have 12,000. But I had to dry my clothes 'cause I got 2 outfits that I gotta hang up. So I still gotta do that. So while I'm doing that, maybe walk another mile, had the 15,000 steps. Yeah, see, they got the sale here, which is pretty good. But all the coffee, there's no ground coffee. It's all whole bean. Whole bean. No ground. I want original blend ground is what I want. And all they got is whole bean up here. They have no ground coffee at all.
I'm probably just gonna go.
Here we are, riding around, and still ain't got there yet. And I said, well, shoot, I was gonna go all the way to the other side of the other town, and I could go on this town, but there's so many people over here. I don't know where all these people coming from, but there's a lot of them. You know, it's 5 o'clock traffic, I guess, but there's a lot of folks.
All these.
So this thing called Upside, if I go to this Dunkin' Donuts, I get 2% cash back. You know, so if you like $20, that should be like 40 cents, hopefully. So once I get $10 worth, I'll go ahead and send it to the bank. You know, take advantage of these little things. I gotta have my coffee. There ain't no way I can make it without it. You know, gotta have my coffee.